this is going to be as big of a game as JD has played in his Madden career. And you know Wes, so talented, not trying to let his, tournament run get stopped short here.
Well, here's the bad news. JD is last out of 16 of guys that can stop the pass. Wesley is first.
Wes first in passing yards per game and total passes per game, and he's number 2 in scoring. And you saw it right there, JD with the worst pass defense out of everybody in the tournament. But don't sleep on this young man. He's made the Carolina Panthers Club Championship, Final Four back-to-back years now. Here he is qualifying for the Mutt Draft. He beat some good names to get here, Golden Glover, Kwani, Jay Wolfman, and a few others. So this is a young man trying to get a little bit of momentum representing Maryland, and he can really make a name for himself and propel his Madden status to that next level by getting a win over the well-respected Wes.
Got a great playbook in Denver. Got Mike Vick, and he needs him to really go. If he can force some turnovers, it could be a difference. On the other side, you got Wesley, the man coming out from nearby Georgia. That's where he hangs out. Of course, he's played in 3 of the last 4 Madden Challenge events, so this is nothing new to him. From Taylorsville, Georgia, 21 years old, looking to add to that 45,000.
I think that's a key stat, Scott. Being able to make 3 or 4 of these draft-style events obviously shows he is comfortable in this mode. The only time he didn't make it was Madden 18, but he didn't make any live events in Madden 18. He's just trying to erase that year from his memory.
He's got that Houston playbook. What else do you see on these notable draft picks?
Tyreek Hill's obviously a huge, huge deal. Michael Irvin, this is a guy that's number 1 in passing. You're obviously going to look for those wide receivers to have a big game against JD's what seems to be vulnerable pass defense.
Well, let's get it going. JD taking on Wesley here in the wild card. It's now single elimination, win or go home. And I believe the winner of this one will face Deliverance. Still got one more match after this, as JD will kick it away. Wesley will get it first with that oh-so-familiar 818 tag. And he'll bring it out to the 29-yard line. And we talk about veterans, and you talk about guys having first-time trips. See Trey right there, and he got eliminated, but we got a lot of new faces out here in San Francisco.
It's crazy, too. You see guys like JD and K-Mac for their first live event. Technically, they've made it to the Final Four of a club championship where they've played in person, but that's not really considered an EA Major live event. So this is their first time kind of really being in there where each game that you win kind of gets you that significant cash infusion. Like I said at the top of this game during the intro, Scott, JD, as Madden players, you're always trying to kind of build your brand, build your reputation, get the respect of your peers, the other people in the community, and JD can just grab a boatload of respect if he would be able to knock out Wes from this tournament, who is very well respected in the Madden community. A former Texans club champion, has been to plenty of majors, labs with the best of the best, and you heard the guys, he is the heavy favorite going into this game.
So first and 10 for Wesley. He'll start with it first. Carr throws in a coverage, and it will be picked off. Bounced around and then landed in the hands of Birds. And how about that start for JD?
Who doesn't like a good underdog story? JD from Oxon Hill, Maryland, 20 years old. Comes out off rip, and Wes with a questionable read, known for usually being super crispy with his read. Looking like young Kiv did at the start of this bracket, but Kiv was able to turn it around. Let's see if Wes can mimic some of that. He already kind of mimicked Kiv's hairdo. You got to remember, old school Joe Rice didn't have the lettuce looking like that. He started hanging out with the Kiver. Now he's got a nice set of lettuce. It's Joe Rice. Was Wes. I'm used to, he's the formerly known as Joe Rice, but he changed his name on us to Wes.
I showed up in Houston, Texas, right there at NRG, and I'm like, what's up, Joe Rice? He's like, it's Wesley now. I'm like, I'm not calling you that. But now I am. He's earned it.
Yeah, you can.
Little rebranding.
You got the credentials. You tell us what you want to be called, and we'll do our best. Just Joe Rice may slip out every once in a while. It's not intentional.
And Mixon. It's absolutely nothing. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Joe Mixon, he's one of the best running backs in that halfback round that you could have got. I believe he's 91 speed, that team of the week item. And, you know, when we introduced that Joe Mixon into Madden Ultimate Team, Joe Mixon came down to the studio himself and was on Good Morning Madden and unveiled the item. We got to meet him. He was a really cool guy. He's a big fan of the MCS and competitive Madden. He watches a ton of the broadcast, follows a ton of our competitors, plays in some CFM with them, plays some games with them. So huge shout out to Joe Mixon, really cool dude, and you know, one of many athletes or celebrities that I've talked to that supports the MCS and is a fan of our product. And we thank you guys for doing that. And you know, we should also thank everybody in the chat that's been supporting. I know it's been a long day. A lot of you guys have been sticking with us. But we love you guys, and you know, thank you. We wouldn't be here without you guys.
3rd and 9. You know, they say an artist without an audience defeats the purpose. And so without those guys out there watching day in and day out through these 40-something days a year, it really is senseless for us to be here.
For sure.
Got a good one between JD and 818. That's Wesley.
Big 4th down here, Scott. And if you're JD, you're getting aggressive right now. You're the underdog. You forced the turnover already. He's trying to make the best of it. You don't want to waste that turnover. This is a big play for him. He can get a ton of momentum if he picks this up.
Vic. And it sacks him up. Going to be a turnover on downs in great field position at the 38.
I like what Joe Rice did right there. Pressure burst pipes. You're going up against, you know, JD, not a ton of experience in a big 4th down. He sends the dogs after him. Gets the sack, forces the turnover down, and let's see if he can get his offense going.
Tyreek Hill creating a whole lot of space with that speed inside the red zone at the 17-yard line.
I've hammered pocket presence throughout this tournament, Scott, or throughout this event to the chat. I want you guys to pay attention to Joe Rice and the way, the way that he's going to move around with his quarterback, because he really knows how to do it on an elite level. He knows how to go into that two-step drop back, step up if he needs to, roll out if he needs to. He moves around with that quarterback on an elite level. Something you'll definitely want to pay attention to, because I know for a fact there's a ton of people in the chat that can improve their pocket presence.
It's going to be a 2nd and 8 at the 15. Carr using a little bit of his legs and slides down at the 10. So we're going to have a 3rd and short incoming. And let's see what Wesley does. See if he gets back in the gun.
Let's go.
Bunch to the left. Needs to get to the 7.5, and it's going to depend on the spot. He got the 1st down. It's a 1st and goal.
Very smart, too, when he was running with Derek Carr. You see him cover up that ball, Scott. You hold the RB button. That's going to allow you to cover the ball, and that's going to significantly reduce the fumble chance if you get hit. And good thing he did that, because that tackler got one of those strip ball animations. Really helped out Carr on that one.
He's also on conservative as well as ball carrying. He's just running it with the quarterback here out of the gun bunch. Here comes 2nd and goal from the 6.
That bubble gum, as usual likes to call it. It's supposed to be, you know, a type of reverse play.
And he goes to the toss. It's been efficient. And this time it's just that. Touchdown.
I like the way that Wes has done that in this tournament. He comes out in that gun bunch. Everybody knows he's a specialist out of that formation. You get out in your pass defense, and then he audibles down to that single back bunch toss. And you talk to a lot of these players, a lot of people will do that. They do it in the NFL a lot. It's a dummy formation. A lot of the times you come out in that bunch knowing you're going to go to this toss right here. You just want your opponent to set up the defense for the bunch. NFL teams do that all the time. They give you a certain look, but they know that they're just going to shift to a completely different formation to try to catch you off guard. And some of our best Madden pros do that as well. Wes is one of them. Young Kiv likes to do that a lot too when I was speaking with him. It's some high-level stuff, both in Madden, competitive Madden, and in real-life football.
Yeah, they'll let you make all those defensive adjustments and then, boom, right under center.
You see that a lot.
Get it rocking.
You see that, Scott, from a lot of our guys that have that high audible percentage. They know to incorporate that into their scheme.
Hands it off to Mixon, can't get away. That's Phillips who wraps him up at the 25 after a short game.
If you're JD, don't want to let this game get away from you. You know what? Wes got the ball first. You forced a turnover. He got a stop on you. He scored. But if you can answer, back right here, you're still in position. You're where you need to be. You get the ball to start the second half. So you got to put it together here if you're JD.
Hands it off to Mixon again. This time he's got a block out in front. If he can get it, Gene Upshaw can't get there, though. Before he's brought down at the 47. He was trying to slow up. And that should take us to the end of the first quarter with your score. Wesley 7, JD 0, but he's on a drive.
I asked JD, about his playbook. He's also in that Broncos playbook, and everyone else we talked to in this Madden Challenge bracket was thrilled to get the Broncos playbook. He wasn't too thrilled about it. He says, I'm a passer. It's more of a running playbook. I like to run the 3-4, but he's a guy that wants to air it out.
Up top to Cooks. It knocked away at the last minute. It was in his mitts. Good coverage deep.
As we say, he likes to air it out. Boy, he tried to go up top to Cooks. That Cooks only 91 speed. Wasn't able to get to Toasty and run by the secondary.
Vic once again will hand it off to Mixon. And here comes a huge third down.
It's funny because in Madden, Scott, you say the huge third down, or this is a big play. We say that all the time, so many times in the game, but there really are so many big plays in high-level Madden just because of the short quarters. You're only playing 5-minute quarters. It's such a short game. Each drive is as significant as the next. So it really sets you up for this big moment after big moment.
And it's a pick. Peanut jumps the route. And Tillman is off to the races. And Mixon will bring him down to the 10-yard line.
Speaking of big moments, right there, JD, I think he thought that he just had man-to-man coverage on the outside. Joe Rice likely has the defender in a soft squat or a cloud flat, and that's what they do.
Finds the pylon and another touchdown for Wesley. Back-to-back rushing touchdowns as the PAT finds its way through, and the lead is now 14.
We've seen several players come back from, down 2 possessions. But those players were guys like Young Kiv or whatnot. I don't know if JD will be able to do it.
Snickers replay. This is what would set up the touchdown. It's an interception by Peanut Tillman. I thought he was going to take it to the house if it wasn't for Joe Mixon.
And I was wrong. He wasn't even in a cloud flat or a soft squat. That really was just man-to-man coverage. But Tillman just that good to break on the cut immediately. Was just all over the out route. That's just one of Wes's best players on the team making a big play. And there's a reason you picked Tillman in that legend round, that oh-so-valuable legend round that you get in MUT Draft.
So a 2nd and 4. JD now trails by 2 scores. Vic gets it outside, and he's flirting with Tillman again.
It's in the game, bro. It's in the game, Tillman.
Point differential matters no more. You throw another pick here. Yeah. Could be night-night.
What's he saying? If you have small children, it might be time to turn them away. Right. I mean, it's not time to put the kids to bed yet. But if JD can't get something going here, might be getting close to that time.
used to roll out the sayings a lot. You know, the first couple of years of commentating Madden. I'll let you do it now.
I don't think you want to do that.
I just stick to the script.
What am I going to do when you leave? I haven't even thought.
I don't know. Can you call college football? Do you want to come on Sirius XM with me next week?
I'm not going to get you fired. Who is this bozo that you brought with you, Coltrane?
Yeah, I'm not here to promote myself, but I'd love for you guys to tune in to Sirius XM next week as I start a new chapter. Last 5 years has been incredible. But right now, JD, he needs some points here with 2:30 to go.
Touchdown gets him all the way back in the ball game. Remember, we said he gets it to start the second half. You're here for a reason. You can get it done. You got the tools you need, but you're going to have to execute. Protect this football. Oh, gosh.
And it's Bates. Jumps the route, and he's down by contact at the 43. I'm not sure he was touched. I thought he was going to get up and keep running.
Some of these just aren't. I mean, these are just bad reads. He's throwing right at West. These are easy plays for West to make, and look for West to get aggressive here and really try to put him away.
It's Carr. It's sacked up. That'll bring up a 2nd and 18 here at the 2-minute warning.
How about our guy West trying to dabble into become a true esport athlete? He's got some interviews trying to also become a player in that 2K league. We saw Radiant do it this year, you know, transitioned over from the 2K league to competitive Madden.
Wesley might be trying to go the other way.
Yeah, he's going the other way, transitioning from, you know, some competitive Madden, getting involved in that 2K league, and he's one heck of a player on the sticks.
Neither of those guys are going to give up Madden, by the way. Neither of those guys are going to give up Madden.
Why would you, too? I mean,
I know they're making it happen on both sides. And Cooks able to haul it in at the 29. Carr. And no, sir. Not happening.
If you're West right now, you have to be careful taking these sacks. The one thing you don't want to do here, even though you're in complete control, is let yourself get knocked out of field goal range. It's important you end this half up 3 possessions.
And he's going to take another sack.
These are mistakes that could come back to bite you. It's not likely, but this is not well played right now at the end of the half from our guy Wesley Gittins, formerly known as Joe Rice.
And this time it goes to Tyreek Hill. And he'll use a timeout. He's got 1 remaining with 14 seconds left to go in the half.
Right when you say it's not well played, he says, shut up, RG. How about I just dial up like a good 30-yard dot right to Tyreek. He's just making this look easy.
Here comes a free blitzer. And you got to run this down and kick the field goal. Can't play with fire right now.
Look at JT, poor JT. I mean, that look says it all right now. It's a tough spot to be, playing for your tournament life. Down 3 possessions against a guy this good in West.
He's been patient. He kicks it through at the end of the half, and it's a 17-0 lead here in the wild card round at halftime. So let's check in with James.
Scott Cole, thank you so much. Make sure your EA account is linked to your Twitch account to receive Twitch drops for a chance to score up to 2 challenge exclusive legends. A 92 Nat 92 OVR Deion Sanders and a Nat 92 OVR Devin Hester. Always great to have a little prime time in your life. Let's take a live look at the Snickers Players Lounge. And you know, RG, you asked for it, my man. You asked for it. A little Snickers ice. Look at User. User, you're not a player right now, bro. Come on. Look at User. Getting in there, trying to get that Snickers ice cream, bro.
How out of line is that? That's for the players. He's back there wetting beak.
And
now
there's Nick
Mazesco's trying to wet beak.
Look at Mazesco.
Get him out of there.
Balls on the
goodness.
Crush is going in. Prodigy in the house.
Come on, bro.
I'm telling you, though, that's going to boost morale back there in that Snickers lounge. There's no way that the Snickers ice cream doesn't come through and instantly boost morale. If there's things I know, it's things like that.
How many of those do you think it would take to get JD's morale up right now? He's trailing 17-0.
Honestly, if they could just get him one, it might be all he needs. You've seen the commercials.
By the way, my guy, Jimmy Coe, doing a good job at the desk over the last couple days. We get breaks. You and I get to down some pizza, some Snickers. Old Jimmy Coe at the desk has just been hanging out.
You call him Jimmy Coe. It sounds like a mob boss or something.
You don't mess with Jimmy Coe. 2nd and 15. He knows, Dave Casper. Come on now.
Casper.
Not getting involved in that. Another sack will push him back 5 yards. Almost feels like a must touchdown drive.
How fast did User weasel his way off of the desk?
I know.
How did he get wind to get back there to get the Snickers ice cream?
And Clark along the boundary will pick up a key first down, but that's a tight window, RG.
Part of the problem for JD is he's running, this Denver offense, and he's running this strong close, and this isn't his normal stuff, so he's kind of just going with what's the best available. But a guy like Wes, he's used to playing against a strong close from the guys that are used to running it, that are the best in the world at running it. So JD's going to have some trouble just mimicking it at a high level like Wes is used to seeing. And that's got to be contributing to why Wes is just playing such good defense. Because he's been practicing for this Broncos playbook thoroughly as he got ready for this event.
Vic, here comes some more pressure. Steps and throws, and there's Dallas Clark again. And that's close to the marker. Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and inches. Couldn't turn upfield and pick up the first down. And it won't matter. He'll move the chains across midfield to the 46.
There you go, JD. Nice dot, followed by a run for the first down. See if he can keep it going.
Vic back up under center. The lefty just nowhere to go.
Needs to get that ball out quicker. Wes is sending the house at him. He had the drag or the flat route wide open, but that needs to be a quick hot read. Just hesitated. All it takes is that split second of hesitation, and what would be a completion ends up resulting in a sack.
Vic. He's just not able to use his legs even as Wesley clicks in and sends the cornerback.
Vic is getting pummeled right now, Coltrane. I know it's just a video game, but
Who's the backup?
I'm feeling for him out
on
there.
The base squad.
Every time he drops back, he's getting hit out there. Let's go, JD. Get it going. Do something. Get yourself back in this ball game.
3rd and 18.
And he's in this Trey Y flex. This is the formation that Wes is so comfortable playing defense against.
And another sack will push him back. It's 4th and forever. So he'll get out his kicker. That's Dixon, not Ronnie Dickstein, and he'll punt it away.
You ran into Ronnie earlier today.
I don't even want to know.
But you don't
He's
want
a
to know what
legend.
it looks like. The chat's just out there like, what the heck is Scott talking about?
That's pretty much been my MO for the last 4 or 5 years.
Little Easter eggs all over the place. Hey, we are calling video games. Why not have some Easter eggs, right?
That was cool to see. What was it, Skimbo joke in the new Super Bowl commercial for Madden?
It's a nice little
with
Easter
the Mannings.
egg.
Yeah, that was cool to see. 2nd and 8. Shout out to our guys, Gibbs and Farrells, and the rest of the Good Morning Madden crew holding it down like a fat kid on a blanket.
They're holding it down right now, too, in Miami. Those Super Bowl festivities, they just have the EA Sports ball out there.
Forget I gave them a shout out then.
Yeah, they're all swagging around.
Yeah, forget it. 3rd and 10. Last year I did the red eye to Atlanta. This year, no way. Not heading to Miami, heading home. It's time for the fourth quarter, presented by Snickers.
I dig because suddenly people think it's okay to talk on speakerphone in public.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Just some lady digging a giant hole.
Speaking of digging a huge hole, there's Nick Mazesco, now the hoarder of the Snickers ice cream. I told you to get him out of there.
What's Jen doing? Jen usually super on point, but why give him all the Nick?
Man, he's worked hard. He's been doing the social, calling some games.
How is User still going in? I hope that's not that same ice cream bar. He's baby's floosing over there. That's got to be at least number 2. Doesn't take that long to put one of those things down, Scott. You and me know these things.
This is true. Start of the fourth quarter, 5 minutes. Another run up the middle here for Wesley, who's really been in control.
I miss calling him Joe Rice. I'm just going to throw it out there. For some reason,
Well, you know, I mean, it was
Wesley,
Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. He just combined them.
It was his pop's old school PlayStation PSN name.
But that's what his dad did.
Yeah, that was his dad's, and he's a Falcons fan, so maybe he wanted to get away from it. But I'm just telling you, it's throwing me off. I got to have a talk with him after this. I mean, I miss the old alias.
Hands it off once again. I know it's kind of like Bam and scheming. You know, every once in a while, still put the Bam out there.
Put the Bam out there, yep. Had a couple guys change it up, huh?
Hate to see it. Up the middle, nothing there, but fights forward for a few more. Gets to the 35. It's going to be a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, you just get the feeling right now. You can kind of see JD's body language. These guys are kind of just going through the motions. You know, JD not using any of those timeouts yet, not getting too aggressive. West just running the ball, milking the clock, doing what he needed to do to get out of here. He's going to advance, but you know what? They said if he advances, let's just assume West does, goes up against Deliverance, that would be a good matchup. That is a matchup that I am really looking forward to, Scott.
Get close to the 2-minute warning as he chews the clock a little bit more here on 3rd and 3. I promised a Joe Montana story earlier in the day and didn't never tell it, but I'm at NFL Network getting ready to do a show, and I run into Joe Montana, you know, back in the dressing room area, and I said, "Hey Joe, you broke my dad's heart in 1977 when you beat Clemson as Notre Dame. Made him cry," and he looked at me, he didn't even stop, looked at me walking by, and he goes, "I made a lot of dads cry, kid," and just kept walking by. Cool as ice, Joe Montana just owned me in the hallway, didn't even make eye contact.
I mean, when it takes a special individual to have that level of swag, Joe Montana has that level of swag.
He does have that swag. Hands it off to Hill. I'll try to tell a few more stories as the weekend moves on.
Real quick, Scott, if you're JD, don't let this discourage you. You continue to get better and better. You've made the Panthers Final Four 2 years in a row. You finally made a live event. Use this as a learning experience. Learn from it and get better. You got a lot of Madden ahead of you, young man.
You got to have the groups. We got several players out of the 16 that can't say that, so build on that. But Wesley was dominant, not only defensively, but got it going on the offensive side of the ball. Puts up 17 points while holding JD to absolutely nothing. So he's going to be moving on to the next round, getting out of the wild card stage. 17-0 once again. Wesley able to come to San Francisco and get it done. And to break it all down, let's head back over to James.
Scott Cole, RG, thank you so much. James Coe joined alongside by a couple of two-time belt winners in serious mode. We got Drini, and we've got one great user who is fresh off of multiple Snickers ice cream. Yeah, multiple, pal. We saw you back there. Okay.
Oh man,
the cameras were rolling, pal. We saw you, man.
On my Snicker bars, cut it out, man.
Multiple Snickers ice cream bars. And we've got one great user back from the Snickers Players Line. All right, gentlemen, so it was basically, just an absolute blowout from Wesley. And Serious Mo, we'll start with you. It was interesting. First play of the game, Wesley throws a pick, but other than that, dominated.
Yeah, I thought once he threw that pick, the nerves were kind of there, and I was a little scared for Wesley, but he locked back in. JD couldn't get anything going on offense, and like you said, it really was just domination.
User, what was the problem with JD? Just his offense has been a problem throughout this entire tournament, and it really showed today.
I mean, I tell you, when JD goes out, he goes out, man. He did exactly what I said he cannot do. He was giving interceptions, just making turnovers, the short field, the whole nine. And so Wesley didn't have to do nothing but basically, man, take the points he was given and milk this clock and get out of here.
And then how about the fact, Jerini, that Wesley now he had 8 interceptions in his first 3 matchups, now 2 more in this one. He's got 10 interceptions in 4 games.
What's even more impressive is in his online elimination, getting here, I heard that, really he should have allowed 0 points the whole tournament. That's 5 games, and him locking up like that, that's actually insane, especially because people know him as an offensive player. So him playing defense like that is super impressive to be a two-way player.
And kind of piggyback on that, he's very similar to Kiv, where it's not like he has great defensive stick work. They just know the game so well, man. They really do put in all the time. They play against all these offenses all the time, so they're extremely prepared. They're not going to wow you with their stick work, but they're always going to have the proper adjustments. And if they're able to stop you one time, they're going to continuously stop you.
User, I feel as if Wesley has not necessarily gotten his due. He's kind of sort of been in the shadow of Kiv here, but he beat Kiv earlier today, and now has really strung together quite a few good games here.
I look at Wesley as like the rage of Journey's group. What is it, NFA? Yeah, NFA. Because I look at Rage as like baby Journey, and then it's the same way with Wesley. And Wesley, he's gonna have to come out here and earn his title, earn his right. So
he can't be baby Journey. I didn't make the event; he made it.
I'm just telling you. At the end of the day, people look at Rage as baby Journey. Don't get mad.
I can't wait to hear how upset Wesley is by hearing your comparison. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, listen,
Wesley's not going to like this at all.
I just walked around and I heard, oh, baby kid, what was that? Oh, that's Wesley. Oh, okay. I didn't make it up. That's the word on the street. Baby kid.
All right, well, let's take a look. Okay. Well, yeah, sure, whatever. Let's take a look at the bracket here. Wesley moving on 17-0. Will now face the undefeated winner of Group C in Deliverance. That is going to be a fantastic matchup.